standing up. So let's go ahead and stand up. Okay, so we're gonna have our feet right underneath of our hips, and we want our knees and our toes to be in one straight line, so not standing out, just right underneath of your hips. I want you to feel your full weight on your feet, so we're not gonna be shifting forward or back. Just find the center of your weight on your feet. Relax your arms. There should be no tension in your arms or your shoulders, and our neck is nice and lifted. We want to feel our tummy so we're not in a hyperextended position out here. So our tummy is nice and tight. Arms are good. Palms are going to be facing forward. We're just going to take a few deep breaths in, breathing in through the nose, and we're going to take an exhale out, okay? So take a deep breath in through the nose and find an exhale out. And an inhale in. And take an exhale out. Let's go 2 more times. Take a breath in. And exhale out. 1 more time. Take a breath in. And a nice big exhale out. Okay, relax the palms. We're gonna draw a circle with our head. So we want only our head to be moving. We're gonna do this 4 times to the right side, and then we'll go 4 times to the left side, okay? I'm a dancer, so I'm gonna 5, 6, 7, 8 everything, so sorry about that, but it'll kind of keep us all together since we don't have any music, okay? So I'm just gonna count 5, 6, 7, circle to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, again, and 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 more times to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 more, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, other side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more times, and 1, 2, nice and slow, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 more times, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 more, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up. Good, we're gonna lift the shoulders up, then we're gonna drop. Okay, we'll do this 8 times. Then we're gonna pull the shoulders down. You got a pressing down, like you wanna reach your fingers down to the floor. So we'll do 8 going up. So we'll go up and relax 8 times. Then we'll pull down and relax 8 times. After that, we're gonna draw big circles going to the back. So you're bringing your shoulder blades together and then back. So we'll go 8 this way, 8 inward. The second time, we'll add a bend in the knees. Again, we want to make sure the knees stay on top of the toes. Don't think of it as a squat, just think of it as an exhale. So inhale, then we exhale, okay? So let's start with the lifts. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, lifting up, and 1, and drop, and 2, and drop, and 3, drop, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pull the shoulders down and relax. And 2, relax. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Circles to the back. And 1. Take nice, big, deep breaths. And 2, and 3. Try to make them as big as you can. And 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and reverse inward, coming in 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, with a bend, and 1, take a bend, and 2, take a bend, and 3, take a bend, and 4. Now we're gonna reverse, inward 1, and 2, take a bend, make sure we're breathing, 3, and 4, and relax. Okay, your shoulders should feel nice and warm. Let's move on to the wrist. So we're gonna do a circle going outward with the wrist. Then we're gonna go with the elbows. Then we're gonna open the chest, take an inhale, and we're gonna bend the knees almost like we're hugging ourselves. Okay, so one more time. We're gonna go outward, 1, then open the elbows, reach in up, open the chest, take a big breath in, then you're gonna contract the spine, and we're just gonna, like we're hugging ourselves, lift it up and then drop. Again, so it's gonna go 1 and a 2, up 3, exhale, curl the spine, lift it up and relax. Okay, we'll do 8 of these. Make sure we're not hitting each other. And wrist, starting with the wrists. And a 1, and 2, and up 3, contract 4, breathe the head down. Reach it up, all up, oops, I messed up. And down, sorry, one more time, and 1, and 2. Arms in, breath in, up, contract, lift it up, and relax. 2 more times, and wrists and elbows, shoulders up, breath in, contract, bring the head down, lift it up, and 1 more, and 1, and 2, lift it up, contract, and up, relax the head. I'm gonna turn to the side, so we're gonna roll down. So we're gonna start with the head. Head goes down first, then we're gonna relax the shoulders, then we're gonna bend all the way from the waist, and we're gonna be in this position. The weight should be a little bit towards the toes so you feel a stretch in the hamstrings, and we don't want our head to be in this position. So we want the head to be dropped, and that's gonna add more weight to the stretch, and you'll feel it in your hamstrings. From here, we'll hold it for a couple counts. We're gonna bend the knees and stretch the knees. Every time you stretch the knees, you wanna feel like the hamstrings are getting longer, okay? So from here, we're gonna bend one leg. So we'll bend the right knee, and then we'll switch, and we'll switch. Every time we're switching, you're lengthening the opposite hamstring. Okay, and the head is gonna be in that relaxed position, and then I'll walk you guys through the rest, okay? So let's start the rolling down. We're gonna start with from the head, and we wanna feel like everything is really heavy. So there should be no tension in the body. So let's start to roll it down. I'm just gonna turn so you can see me, but you can face forward. We're gonna roll down with the head and the shoulders all the way down to the floor, and you're just gonna be in that position. Drop the head. Your hands can touch the floor if you're flexible enough. If not, just take a few deep breaths in that position. And you should not feel any tension in the body. It might hurt, so take a few long, deep breaths in this position. Take a slow bend in the knees and hold. Good, and stretch the knees up and hold. Again, take a bend in the knees and hold. Stretch the knees. Let's repeat this 2 more times. So take a bend and hold. Lift it up and hold. Last one, take a bend and hold. Stretch the knees up and hold. Good. And we're gonna bend the left knee, stretch the right knee. Your palms should be, you should be able to touch the floor a little bit more. Relax the head, drop the head, drop the shoulders, and keep that left knee bent. And we're just gonna take a few long, deep breaths in this position. And every time you exhale, you wanna feel your stretch is getting a little bit deeper. Good, stretch the left knee, bend the right knee, and we're still in this position with our hands down to the floor. No tension in the neck, no tension in the shoulders. Good, and stretch the right knee. Now we're gonna take a left knee bend, and we're gonna take our hand, I'll do it this way so you can see me. So we're gonna have our left knee bent. Sorry, I know I'm mirroring you, I should probably go the other side. You're gonna have your opposite arm to the ankle, and we're gonna try to reach up and look at that hand at the top. Okay, so I'll turn to the side. So you're holding, you're crossing the arm, you're twisting the spine, and you're gonna try to look up and reach up at that hand, okay? So pick whatever side you want to start on. Then that knee, cross the arm over the ankle, and we're gonna reach up and twist, and it's gonna hurt a little bit, but take a few long, deep breaths. Like you wanna reach up for the ceiling. Good, and relax. Switch the knees, bend the opposite knee, arm crosses over your ankle. You're gonna reach up into that opposite side. Like you wanna reach up into the ceiling. Good, a few more seconds, hold. We're taking long, deep breaths. Good, and relax. Okay, bend the knees, come back up. You can just hang out in this position. I didn't want you to be upside down for too long. Next stretch we're gonna do, it's gonna be in this position again. This time we're gonna have our left hand on your left shin, and your arm is gonna reach to the opposite diagonal, okay? So this is gonna be for the lats. You're gonna feel a stretch, a deep stretch here. Then we'll switch the side, right arm to the right shin, and you're gonna reach to the low diagonal, okay? So whenever you're ready, go ahead and get into this upside down position. Also, we wanna make sure our knees are not locked. So a little bit of a slight bend. Get your left hand on your left shin, and we're gonna reach to the diagonal. And we're gonna take a long breath in this position. Good, and let's switch, opposite arm. And really reach. Good, bring the arms down, bend the knees, and slowly come back up. Okay, we should feel nice and open in our upper body area. Let's do one more sort of opposition stretch of the shoulders. So we're gonna have the arms go up, and then we're gonna twist. So one arm comes front, one arm comes back, and we're gonna look at the arm that's back. So we're gonna reach our arms up. Again, we wanna make sure we're not in this like hyperextended position or in this contracted position. So our feet are flat on the floor. We're gonna take a breath in here, then we're gonna reach to the back, and then you'll drop it down. You'll go up, and we're gonna reach the opposite side and come back down. When I'm reaching back, I'm pressing my arm as if I'm using some resistance. So think of like if you're underwater or something, you want to press the water. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little bit easier. So here we go. Let's reach the arms up. Take a breath in. And we're going to look to the back, press the arms down. Take an exhale. Bring the arms down. And take a big breath in. Inhale. Switch to the opposite side. Press the arms down. Exhale. Come down. Take a breath in. Inhale. Reach the arms back. Take an exhale. Bring it down and reach up. Inhale.
Turn your torso.
Pressing down. Exhale. Let's do two more and up. Take a breath in. Reaching out and back, pressing down. Exhale. Bring it down and last one. Up. Inhale. Pressing down. Exhale. And relax. Okay, let's move on. So we're gonna have our right leg back or left leg back, a little bit apart. So I have my front knee is bent, my back leg is stretched. Whichever leg is back, you're gonna take that arm and you're gonna put it on your back in this position. We're gonna hold this position. So everyone get into that position. Reach with your whichever leg is back. You want that arm to touch your shoulder blade. If you can't go all the way, then that's okay. Just go as much as you can. And we want to think about pressing our hips forward. So you should sort of feel a stretch in that back calf and a little bit of your hip flexor. So let's just take a few breaths in this position, and we want to lengthen the spine so we don't want to collapse. Lift the torso up.
We're not sure you put the arm on yourself.
Do you guys want me to mute?
Mute us, please.
Yeah, let me mute you.
Arm
Okay,
back.
just let her do it.
This. She literally just said that.
Just let her do it. Leave it. Let her alone.
She just said that.
Shut.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Arm up. And now we're going to take our left arm onto the elbow. We're going to keep our feet in this position, and we're going to reach to the side of the leg that's forward. Really pulling yourself in that direction. Good. Hold it there for a couple more seconds. Good. Come back to standing position. Let's switch the legs. So take your other leg back. Whichever leg is back, you're going to have that arm touching your shoulder as much as you can. Lengthening, lifting up. And first, we're just going to hold it there in this position. Make sure our hips are forward. Our calves are, we should feel a stretch in the calf. So your back heel is down to the floor. And we're just going to hold it here. And take a few long breaths. Good, and reach the opposite arm up to your elbow. And we're going to pull. Might be a little bit hard to balance. You can bend your knees a little bit to have a little bit more stability. Good. Let go of that arm. Come back. Let's do it one more time. Back to the top. Arm back. Make sure we're breathing. Reach for that elbow. Twist to the high diagonal on the opposite side. Making sure our back heel is on the floor. Good. And switch, opposite leg. Arm reaching back to the shoulder, lengthening the spine at first. Reaching for that elbow. And pull. Let go of the arm, come back to standing position. Okay, guys, good. I'm just gonna grab some water because I cannot talk anymore. Okay. Let's get onto the floor. So if you have something you want to sit on, you can sit on that. Okay. So we're gonna have our legs extended forward, and we're gonna stretch out the hamstrings a little bit. So we're gonna have our arms forward. I'm gonna turn so you can see my back. We want our back to be nice and straight. So we don't want to be in this hunched position. Think of like if there is like an imaginary string and you're pulling yourself up like a puppet. So we're just gonna reach in this position. Your heels should be planted down to the floor and your toes going directly up. So try to not let the feet come in or go out this way, okay? So find your weight on your two sit bones, heels planted into the floor. Take a big breath in, and we're gonna reach up, and we're not reaching down. So we're gonna, like, you wanna reach through the screen. So we're gonna reach forward, and we should feel our back extensors a little bit activated right now, because you're using them to hold yourself up. And really try to take long, deep breaths in this position. You shouldn't feel a stretch. You should just feel some tightness in your lower back. Good. Hold it there for a couple more seconds. Lengthening the spine. If you feel some shaking, that's okay. And you want to feel like there's energy in your arms. So you're reaching out. You're actively holding this position. Lengthening the spine. You should feel your lower back a little bit. From here, we're gonna have our arms down to the floor, and we're just gonna relax. So you're gonna drop your head down in that position, and it should feel like a nice stretch in that area that you just felt that was activated. Good, and come back to this position. So we're gonna reach again, and after that, you'll drop the arms, drop the head, and come down, okay? So let's hold it there. Again, reaching forward, hold that position. Stretch the elbows, my feet are flat on the floor. My sit bones are evenly on the floor, so I'm not leaning towards one side. Kind of be aware of where it's tight. One side of your body might be a little bit tighter than the other, so just be aware of that. Take a few long breaths to release some tension. Good, and relax your arms, drop the head down, relax the lower back. And come back up. Good. So we're gonna do this with a little bit of a kind of like a tempo. So we're gonna reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, drop on 7, 8. So we're gonna reach now, and now we're gonna lengthen the hamstrings. So see if now you can reach out a little bit past your hands, okay? So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them forward. Hold the ankles down on 7, 8. Take an exhale. So inhale, sorry. When you're reaching forward, you're gonna exhale every time. And see if you can pass your toes, okay? We'll do this for 4 sets. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, reaching forward, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down on 7, 8. Again, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, down on 7, and 8. 2 more times, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, down on 7, and 8. 1 more, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down on 7, and 8. Good. Okay, let's try to open our legs to the side as much as we can. Make sure we have space. Again, we want both of our sit bones down on the floor. So your knees should be looking up at the ceiling. So try to not internally rotate that knee, or the opposite, kind of externally rotate. So our heels are just flat onto the floor. And we're gonna try to just get our elbows down onto the floor, okay? So try to not round the back in this position. Think of your, from your waist up, like a diagonal position. So let's just go ahead and have our elbows down to the floor. And already this position might feel tight for some people. If you can't have your elbows down, you can just have your arms down as low as you can go, okay? So either your elbows or your hands. And we're just gonna take a few long breaths in this position. Every time you take an exhale, you wanna feel that the stretch is getting a little bit deeper. So let's just hold this position. Again, you should not feel any tension in the body. You might feel it in your hips, in your hamstrings. Good, and just stay in that position wherever you are and try to reach forward a little bit more. So whether that's an inch, or maybe it's adding a little bit more weight forward. Good, and now wherever you are, you're just gonna go a little bit more forward. Try to reach out a little bit more. Every time you exhale, feel that you're getting deeper into that stretch. And one last time, reach a little bit more forward. Good, and slowly walk yourself back to your standing position. Good, you guys feel it in your legs. Okay, let's go to the side. So we're gonna place our elbow down to the floor or your hand, whatever your body allows, and we're gonna reach the opposite side. So I'm not gonna say right or left because I'm gonna mess it up, but you're gonna reach to the opposite side. Okay. If this is all you can go, then just hold it in this position. You can go lower. Ideally, we want to be able to hold our foot or our knee or wherever you can on your body. Okay, so first let's start in a high diagonal position. And this arm is forward so that you can put some weight onto that arm. And we're gonna lift the body up. Try to think of having your body parallel to the screen. So don't twist at the bottom. So think of your two shoulders being parallel to the screen. Think of pressing your opposite hip down to the floor. So I'm wearing black and my mat is a black, so you can't really see, but let me move forward so you can see. Try to not have this hip up. So there should be no space between your opposite hip and the floor. Good, and slowly come back to the center and we're gonna switch sides. Opposite arm down to the floor, and we're gonna lengthen the spine, reaching up to that high diagonal position. Shoulders again are parallel to the screen. Opposite hip is pressing down to the floor, and we're lengthening like we're suspended in the air. Good, and come back up. Now we're gonna face the leg. So we're gonna turn this time, and now I want your chest to be facing that knee. So wherever that is, you're gonna, the goal is to get your knee between your chest. So we're gonna twist the body, and we're gonna reach forward now. So now we're gonna go for the back of the leg in the hamstring. So we're gonna twist the body and we're gonna reach forward. And if you drop your head, you'll feel a little bit more weight in that leg. So if you're up here, you won't feel as much of a stretch. When you drop the head, you'll feel more of a stretch in that hamstring. So go ahead and get into that position. Good, and come back up, back to the center. Rotate the trunk to the opposite side and reach forward again. Chest is between the knees, that's the goal. Try to get down to the floor. Opposite hip is pressing down to the floor. Good, come back to the center. So we're gonna do all of this one more time. So now we should be able to go a little bit more forward. So we're gonna go forward as much as you can. We'll go high diagonal. We'll go down into the leg and then down into the leg, okay? So let's start in that forward position. You should be able to go a little bit more forward now. Go as front as you can, reaching your arms forward. We're gonna take long breaths in this position. Good, and slowly come back up. Let's go for the high diagonal. Remember your opposite arm is in front. Reaching up, pressing that opposite hip down to the floor. Good, come back to the center, switch the side, reaching up to the high diagonal. Knees are looking up. If it hurts, just remember to breathe. And on every exhale, feel that you're going down a little bit deeper. Good. And up, rotate, head down into the leg. Good, let's go away and up and switch to the sides. Rotate again your chest. Your knee should be in between your chest. And we're gonna go into that leg. Drop the head to feel more weight. Good, and let's come back. Okay. Everyone's hamstrings are a little bit awake. Okay, let's go ahead and sit like a crisscross applesauce position. So your hips should be a little bit more open. So I'm not like actually sitting like this. I'm just I want your hips to be open and relaxed. So if that means opening up a little bit, then that's okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our left arm and you're gonna place it close to your body. We wanna make sure that this hip is not gonna come off the ground. I'm gonna press this hip down into the floor and try to get that elbow close to your body, okay? Now we're gonna reach our arm to the diagonal and now you should feel the stretch a little bit lower. If your hip is up, you're not gonna feel the stretch. So try to think of actively pressing that hip down into the floor and try to relax the neck. So don't hold your neck up in this position, but kind of let the gravity pull your head down. Good, now bend your elbow and you should feel the stretch getting a little bit deeper in that side. And we're still breathing. Good, extend the arm, come back up, and let's switch. Put your elbow close to your body. Let's start in that high diagonal position, thinking about pressing that hip into the floor, reaching to that high diagonal, no tension in the head or the neck, just kind of relax. I know it's hard, and we have to remind ourselves to breathe because it's painful and we just want to hold our breath. Good, and bend your elbow. Just let your arm kind of hang. Add a little bit more weight to the stretch. You should feel it a little bit deeper. Pressing that hip into the floor. Good, reach the arm out and come up. Let's go for a little bit of a neck stretch since we're in this position. So we're gonna lift the spine up, shoulders are back, no hyperextension. So that means your rib cage is not open. So we don't think of your rib cage just being neutral. So we're not gonna press our ribs apart. From here, we're just gonna hold our head. So I'm not gonna say right or left because I'm gonna mess it up. Reach to the opposite side, shoulders are down, and we're gonna pull our neck into this position. Good, and you should feel a little bit of tension in your neck. Good, we're still breathing. Now I want you to take your opposite arm and reach it to the back diagonal. And the stretch should feel a little bit tighter. And you can kind of move your arm around to find the spot that feels good but hurts at the same time. And once you find that spot, just take long breaths, and on every exhale, feel that your stretch is getting a little bit deeper. Good, drop the hand, and we're gonna come back to the center, and let's go to the opposite side in this upright position. Reach for your ear, or however far you can go. And we're gonna pull, thinking of our spine still being lifted. And we should feel some tension in that neck. Good, and try to reach your arm to find an area that kind of hurts. And hold it there. We're still breathing. Good, drop the hand down, relax the head, roll it forward, and come back up. Okay, let's go ahead and open up our hips a little bit. So I've noticed a lot of injuries happen because of tight hips, and we all have it because we use it to walk, to sit, and do almost everything. So since we're on the floor, let's go ahead and get in this position with your feet planted right in front of your hips. So you might have to open up a little bit wider. And what we're gonna try to do is get both knees to go on the floor, okay? Just this might feel tight for some people. So pick one side and you're gonna have both of your knees go straight into the floor, and you're gonna have your arms forward. And you should feel it kind of tight in this hip flexor, and we're reaching forward. Now we're gonna keep our weight where it is, and we're gonna bring the knees up, and now we're gonna switch to the opposite side. So you drop both your knees to the opposite side. It's okay if your hip comes up a little bit. You should feel some tightness in the hips. And we're reaching forward. Good, bring both the knees up again. And we're gonna drop the knees back down to the floor. Good. And bring the knees up, and let's switch to the opposite side. Let me go back so you can see me. Switch to the opposite side. Good. And reach up. Now we're gonna add. So we're gonna turn the knees. Then I'm gonna turn the body, turn to the side. From here, I'm gonna try to not move where my knees are, and I'm gonna try to lift myself up and open up this hip. As my arms go up, I'm pressing my hips forward, and then I'm gonna bring my hips back, sit back, and I'm gonna come back to the center. I'll do that one more time on the opposite side. So I'm gonna have my knees drop to the floor. I'm still facing forward. I'm gonna turn my body to the side. From here, I'm gonna swing my arms up as I lift my pelvis off the ground, and I'm gonna actively be pressing my back glute forward, my hips, opening up that hip flexor. And I'm gonna sit back, reaching the arms forward, and then coming here, okay? I like to say this might feel a little bit of crunchiness, if I can say that. So wherever is the tightest in your hips, you're gonna feel like some crunchiness in there, okay? So let's have your arms reaching forward. Twist the knees to one side. Okay. Rotate the upper body to the side. So you're looking at the wall. Drive the hips up, pelvis up. Arms go back, press your hips forward. You should feel a stretch in that hip flexor. Good. Come back down, back to the center. I'm gonna do one facing this way so you can follow me. It might be easier that way. I'm gonna turn the knees, turn the body, lift yourself up, press the hips forward, reach the arms up, come back down, and center. Good. And one last time, knees drop, turn the body, lift the arms up, hips forward, opening up that hip flexor. Good, bring the hips back, reach the arms forward. And one last time, drop the knees, turn the arms, lift the body up, press the hips forward. We're breathing. Bring the hips back down and center and relax. Okay, since we're on the floor, one last stretch. We call this like the 90-90 stretch. So you want your two knees to be in a 90-degree angle. We're gonna try to keep this back hip down on the floor. So I don't want your hip to be lifted up. So try to get that hip down on the floor, and we're just gonna lean back, okay? So wherever that is for you, you're gonna automatically feel your back leg. If you feel any pain in your knee, it's because the angle of your leg is too tight. So just have your leg a little bit away from your body. So just go ahead and reach back, and you'll feel your back quad. Whichever leg is back, you want to reach for that arm forward. So if my right leg is back, I'm going to reach my right arm forward to the opposite diagonal, and you should feel a deeper stretch in that quad. And I'm still making sure, so my weight is not forward, my weight is back. I'm kind of leaning into the floor and dropping that hip down. Good, and let's switch sides. Switch the legs. Hip is not up, hips drop. I'm just gonna see how much time we have. Okay. Reach the arm forward. You should feel your quads and maybe your hips. Okay, let's go ahead and get in a lunge position on the floor. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see me. So we're gonna be in a lunge position. And I'm gonna extend my front leg forward, my heel is lifted up, and my toes are looking straight to the ceiling. So from here, I'm gonna have your hands forward on both the sides. So not here or here, and I'm just gonna lengthen my spine. You should feel a stretch in your hamstring. If it hurts, if it's too tight, you can kind of move the hips forward and back. And your weight should be back. Your weight is back and you're leaning forward. Try to lengthen the spine to not fall into that leg. And you should not feel pain in the back of your knee. If you feel pain in the back of your knee, try to bend your knee a little bit. The knee that's forward, bend it a little bit. So you don't want to hyperextend the knee. Good, and let's switch the leg. So swing your other leg forward. Weight is on the heel, toes are looking straight up, arms on both sides. Weight is back, I'm leaning forward, and you should feel a stretch in that hamstring. Good, and let's go back to the other leg. This time we're gonna be in this lunge position. We're gonna have our hands on the inside of your leg, and we're gonna press our hips forward, okay? So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see what that looks like. My hands are inside, and so my hips are not back here, but I'm pressing my hips forward. Good, and you should feel the leg that's back, that hip flexor. You might also feel a stretch in the leg that's bent in front. Now, if you can, try to get your elbows down to the floor, okay? Or one elbow, whichever works. One or two. Good, a few more seconds. And come back up. We're going to finish off with your hands on your two knees. It's going to be a little bit of pain. You're going to feel a little bit of pain. You're going to press your hips forward, and you're going to feel your back hip flexor. If you want to feel more of a stretch, have your arms above the head and really press your hips forward. I'm going to turn from the side so you can see me. So we're not here. My hips are really pressing forward. My arms are going up. You should feel it in that back hip flexor. Think about lengthening the body, reaching up. Good, and let's switch the leg. Bring the other leg forward. We're gonna have our hands on the inside of our leg. First, we're gonna start with our elbows down to the floor or elbow, whatever you can get down there. Good, come back to a standing position. Have your hands on your knee if you can, pressing the hips forward or reaching the arms up to feel a deeper stretch in that hip flexor in the back. Good. Lengthen the body, taking long, deep breaths. Good, and relax. Okay, this last one we're gonna do, I'm gonna lay on my back and I'll explain what we're gonna do. I'll show you guys. So I'm sure you've done this stretch before. It's for our external rotators, our piriformis. So we're gonna lay back. Your knees are gonna be up to the ceiling. At first, we're just gonna cross one leg over the other. So my ankle is on top of my knee. And I'm just gonna relax this knee. Then I'm gonna take my hands, I'm gonna hug my thigh. So I'm not gonna go on top of the knee, but I'm gonna hug my thigh and I'm gonna pull it close to me, okay? So let's start with your knees flat on the floor, your feet flat on the floor, your knees looking up, hips are on the floor. Pick whichever side you wanna start off with first. Have your ankle on your knee and just open up that hip in that position at first. Dropping the knee down to the floor, relaxing that knee that's bent on top. Good, and go ahead and take your hands, hug your thigh and pull it close to your body. And we want to feel no tension in the spine. So you should feel both of your shoulders on the floor. Your neck is nice and long. And we're going to take a few long breaths in this position. And every time you exhale, feel that your stretch is getting a little bit deeper. Good. And bring your legs back down and switch. Ankle on your knee, open up that hip. The knee that's up, folded on top of the other knee. Make sure it's dropped, it's relaxed, so there's no tension in that hip. Shoulders are flat on the floor, hips are flat on the floor. Go ahead and hug your thigh, pull it close to your body. And one side might be tighter than the other one. Shoulders on the floor, neck is on the floor. Good, now go ahead and have both of your knees to your chest like this. You can have your hands and you're gonna hug the back of your knee, and we don't want the knees to be touching. So we're trying to get your knees close to your armpits. And you're just gonna hug your thighs, and you can kind of move from side to side. And just opening up those hips, lengthening the spine. Try to get your lower back to the floor. And just kind of rocking side to side. Okay, let's come back to a sitting position. We're going to finish off with crossing our leg to one side. So both legs forward, have one leg front. We're going to hug our knee. And if you can, you're going to try to reach back. You're going to look at the arm that's behind you. Drop the arm and let's switch the legs. Have your other leg forward. Hugging the knee, bringing it close to your body. Hips are on the floor. And if you want to feel more of a stretch, reach back. Look at the arm that's behind you. Good, drop the arm. And we can slowly come back to standing position. And we are all done for today. How do you guys feel?
That was great.
Good? Okay, guys, if you have any feedback for me on areas of your body that I'm going to try to go off of the workouts we've been doing for the week, but if there's any suggestions that you guys have, please feel free to contact me. And I want to get better at doing this and be helpful in any way that I can. And with my background in dance, I feel like I've sustained a lot of injuries, but stretching has helped me a lot. So if you guys have any feedback for me, I'd be really happy to hear what you guys have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed your Sunday morning as much as I did.
Thanks, Rebecca.
You're welcome, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody. Bye.